Artificial intelligence was supposed to be the hero of the modern workplace. Save time, cut costs, let humans focus on the creative work machines can't touch. Yet somehow, it's making companies slower, workers more anxious, and entire industries less stable.
AI, not only changing the way employees work, it's also transforming the way the human resource leaders consider how AI will change jobs.
AI is rapidly reshaping the workplace. More companies are turning to it as a substitute for hiring or retraining workers, and that's raising urgent questions about the future of the job market.
Well, I think the most important thing is versatility. That is, young people need to be able to learn rapidly, to move from job to job, to not assume that the old career paths are really there any longer. AI is going to jumble everything, and the trajectory of AI is almost impossible to foresee. So versatility, adaptability is going to be very, very important.
AI isn't just affecting a handful of jobs. It's part of a bigger problem. Technology moving faster than the systems meant to manage it. According to GitHub, 92% of US enterprise developers use AI tools, and 70% see them as a major advantage. Recent industry data suggests that AI isn't just a helper, it's a new layer of technical debt that can actually slow down the production cycle, which raises an uncomfortable question. Is artificial intelligence accelerating progress or quietly becoming tech's biggest mistake? At the center of the AI revolution sits OpenAI, the industry's most advanced company. While ChatGPT transformed the way we work, the finances behind it reveal an unprecedented challenge. According to internal projections reviewed by The Information, OpenAI could face operating losses of up to $14 billion in 2026. However, it raises a vital question. If the market leader is spending this much, what does it mean for the rest of the industry? Currently, the vast majority of high-end AI interactions are effectively subsidized by venture capital and record-breaking corporate debt. According to the Washington Post, tech giants have moved into a new era of massive borrowing just to fund the infrastructure required for these models. The reality is that most users aren't paying the true cost of the GPU cycles needed to generate complex text or code. Experts estimate that in 2025 alone, foundation model companies like OpenAI and Anthropic captured nearly $80 billion in funding, representing roughly 40% of all global AI investment. It's being used simply to keep the lights on and the servers running. While tech giants are projected to spend over $600 billion on AI infrastructure in 2026, the revenue models for these agentic tools are still evolving. We are currently in a period of what analysts call artificial pricing. As reported by Carbon Credits, this is a strategic phase where costs to the consumer are kept low to capture market share, while the actual operational cost to the provider remain at historic highs. The grand promise of AI was the 4-day workweek, a tool to automate the mundane and unlock human creativity. Instead, we are seeing the opposite. According to the Upwork, revealed that 77% of employees report that AI has actually increased their total workload. Why? Because large language models are probabilistic, not deterministic. They don't provide the right answer. They provide the statistically likely one. This has birthed a grueling new category of labor, the verification tax, as detailed by Harvard Business School researchers in their study, navigating the jagged technological frontier. While AI accelerates initial drafting, the time required to hunt for latent errors, subtle, convincing hallucinations, often erases any efficiency gains. AI hasn't eliminated labor. It has shifted it into invisible, high-stress verification work. For years, the tech industry sold us a comforting illusion. They called it the cloud, something weightless, invisible, clean. But as we enter the era of generative AI, that illusion is evaporating. AI is not ethereal. It is one of the most physically demanding technologies ever deployed at scale. According to the International Energy Agency in their Electricity 2024 report, data centers are projected to consume over 1,000 terawatt-hours of electricity annually by 2026. To put that in perspective, that demand is roughly equivalent to the total annual electricity consumption of Japan.
Most of AI's energy needs are concentrated in data centers. And inside each data center are any number of servers, which create immense amounts of heat as they process data. Running those servers and keeping them cool is one of the main drivers of electricity consumption for AI. To give you an idea of how much electricity these data centers use, today, a hyperscale data center operated by a big tech company, uses about as much electricity as 100,000 households. The largest data center currently under development will use 20 times that amount. On a global scale, data centers accounted for about 1.5% of electricity consumption in 2024. By 2030, electricity consumption by data centers is set to roughly double to about 3% of global consumption. That means data centers will be consuming around 945 terawatt hours a year. And to put that into context, that's about as much as the entire yearly electricity consumption of Japan today. The processing needs of AI will be the most significant driver of this increase in data center electricity consumption.
Even the industry giants are struggling to reconcile their growth with their goals. Microsoft's 2024 Environmental Sustainability Report revealed a staggering 29.1% increase in their total carbon emissions since 2020. Despite carbon-negative promises, the energy-intensive reality of building AI is moving the needle in the wrong direction. We have to ask, is the convenience of AI worth the industrial cost? In business, mistakes are expensive, but in AI, they can be catastrophic. In early 2023, Alphabet showed off a new AI demo. One answer was wrong, a small factual error about the James Webb Space Telescope. Markets didn't see it as small. Within hours, Alphabet stock sold off, wiping out roughly $100 billion in market value, not because the AI was bad, but because it was confidently wrong. And that's the real risk. AI systems improve by learning from high-quality, human-generated data. But as the internet becomes flooded with AI-generated text, images, and video, models are increasingly training on their own output. A study published in Nature titled AI Models Collapse When Trained on Recursively Generated Data shows what happens next: distortion, repetition, eventual collapse. The Titanic wasn't destroyed by bad engineering. It was destroyed by belief in its own invincibility.
The overall, Americans remain largely uncomfortable with artificial intelligence, but they're still using it in, I'll tease it, surprising numbers. 68% of the public in our nationwide survey of 1,000 say they're uncomfortable with AI, 31% comfortable. That's up 4 points from when we asked the question last in 2023, showing at least some progress. Just 1% say they're not sure. I found that interesting because it tells me average Americans have an opinion on this issue and they are aware of AI being out there. The lack of comfort stems perhaps in part from worries about what it means for jobs. 72% say or are concerned it will eliminate jobs overall, compared with just 7% who think it will create jobs, 18% seeing no effect.
AI is a remarkable tool, maybe the most powerful we've ever built, but it was deployed faster than its economic, social, and physical limits were understood. The problem isn't intelligence. The problem is believing we could replace human value before we ever learned how to price it. The AI boom may not end in a singularity. It may just end in a very expensive quiet.